There is more to ancient Egypt than the Great Pyramids and the very well-known Sphinx. Stay tuned, and the ancient detective will take you through the 10 lesser-known facts about ancient Egypt. And today we kick off with number 10, Deir al-Medina. This unimposing building was located on the banks of the River Nile near Luxor, home to the workers from the Valley of the Kings. This desolate place was once a hive of activity, where all the workers would get together, play games, laugh, and enjoy merriment together. Now it's silent and has fallen to rubble. It dates back to the New Kingdom, covering 18th to 20th dynasties, and gives an insight into the lives of ordinary people like you and I, except very, very long ago. If you look closely, you can see the demarcated areas where the workers lived and slept, as well as the alleyways behind, which would have been busy in those days. Next up is number 9, Saqqara. Saqqara is located at the ancient Egyptian capital, Memphis. This is an ancient burial ground starting in early dynastic period, and the interesting thing about this is older than the pyramids themselves. Saqqara is most famous for the step pyramid and is an example of the evolution of pyramid building. This is where it all began. Next up is number 8, the Bent Pyramid. Located 40 miles from Cairo, the Bent Pyramid still stands today. This pyramid dates back to 2600 BC. The Bent Pyramid belonged to Snefru. This was the second of 3 pyramids he built. This is important because he pushed forth ideas for the new, bigger and better pyramids. Arguably, it doesn't look as magnificent as it did back then. But let's remember, this is the pyramid that gave birth to what was still to become the fascinating pyramids of ancient Egypt. Number 7 on our list. This once beautiful tomb was built for the lesser well-known Queen Nefertari. However, her husband has generated infamy over the centuries, Ramesses II. Once a beautifully ornate tomb, the walls were once compared to the Sistine Chapel. So magnificent were the paintings, so meticulously carried out, all for this queen, their ruler's wife. If you look a little closer, you can see that the colors were bright, light, and beautiful. It is said that on these walls is written the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead tells the story of how this wondrous queen would travel towards her final destination. Perhaps you can see something in the writings on the wall. It has to be noted that Queen Nefertari was considered one of the most beautiful women that ever lived. In fact, the drawings on the walls heighten this, and there's been makeup added to her face, luscious lashes, full lips, and colorful cheeks. You could say an ancient Photoshop. Sadly today, the tomb stands silent, empty, and also looted. The beauty is almost diminished by what has been stolen, but if you use your imagination, you can imagine the absolute beauty, the colors, and her beautiful image, bringing this tomb to be one of the most beautiful tombs that ever existed. Next on our list is number 6, Abu Simbel. These are 2 temples built deeply into rock, and can be found on the border of Sudan. These temple ruins were built by Ramesses II. One can imagine building into rock was a tedious task, and it is said it took 20 years to build the temples. Today the temples stand untouched, guarded by the fact that it's a World Heritage Site. The interesting fact about these imposing heavy temples is that they were moved in the 1960s. In those days, there was fear that they would be flooded or destroyed. It cost, in today's value, $300 million to move it. That's a lot of money and care shown for these ancient but beautiful temples. Even harder to imagine is the archaeologists of that time cutting the temple into square blocks and moving it piece by piece like a jigsaw puzzle, except this jigsaw puzzle weighed 20 tons apiece. If you want to see the next 5, check back in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell so you're notified of our videos.